What about a secret hideout?
Yeah.
Your secret hideout is gonna be up there. It's just not gonna happen.
Dad, can you give me a bunk bed, please?
What kind of bunk bed do you want?
My favorite colors.
What's your favorite
rainbow.
color? Oh,
Teal, green.
cool. What do you want in your bunk bed?
A Lego center, a drawing station.
Anything else?
Mm-hmm.
What about a secret hideout?
Yeah.
Your secret hideout
Yeah.
is gonna be up there.
Oh my god, no.
Yep.
That way nobody, Ava won't find me.
You don't want your sister to find you?
No.
I have a really cool idea for Oliver's bunk bed.
What?
I'm gonna build him a secret hideout.
No, you're not.
Yep. I'm gonna cut a hole in the ceiling so that he can climb up, and there's this pocket in the attic that I'm gonna convert into like a little play area, so when he's up in the loft, he can climb up there and he's got all this extra space to hang out.
You're not gonna cut a hole in the ceiling.
I'm cutting a hole in the ceiling. So right here up top, there's a nice big space up there in the attic that's where we're gonna build his secret hideout. Before we can actually get started on the bunk bed, we have to start working on the secret hideout. Because if the bunk bed is built, it's gonna be in the way and I'm not gonna be able to get the materials I need up through that hole to build the floor, finish framing out the walls, get the drywall done and the siding and all that. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna head up to the attic and let's take a look at the space that we're working with. So you can see why we need to cut that hole first to get everything up here. Just try to get everything up here. It's just not gonna happen. There's not enough space, not enough clearance to get the stuff up here. There's not enough space to get me up here. But once we have that hole cut, I'll be able to bring everything up here, no problem. Be able to work a lot easier. So this is what we got going on. So right there, that's the wall. That's the wall the bunk bed's gonna go against. So our entrance is gonna be right about where that Romex comes out of the wall. So there's a few things up here that we're gonna need to get cleaned up. We got this exhaust vent, that pipe, the exhaust pipe right there, that's gonna have to move. We got, this looks like one of the old security lines for one of the sensors, that's gonna have to move. And then here, that looks like the Romex from the bottom of the bunk bed. So that's actually perfect. That's nice to have that right there because that gives us access to power that we can add into this space. And we have a lot of access to power up here, so that's not going to be a problem. And we'll actually be able to run AC into this space too, because we have a vent right here. That vent goes into the laundry room, and I could put a T into this, and this is gonna have to move anyway. I'm gonna have to move that. It's gonna have to go around the other side of this post. This right here is all spray foam insulated, and you can see how much the foam came out between where the studs are. So all that is gonna have to get shaved back. So we could put drywall up or shiplap or some kind of siding for this wall. And the same thing with the ceiling. All that's gonna have to get shaved down to the studs so that we can put a ceiling up. So the first thing we need to do is cut the hole in the ceiling so that we can get up here and start working on the floor.
never done this before. So it looks so weird.
We got a hole. Let's take a look. All right. So first thing I'm gonna start working on, I'm gonna cut, I need to get some 2x6s so that I could finish this right here. You see these are all 2x6s. I'm gonna cut one here and then cut one right over here on the other side so that we can secure this drywall. And then I'll start cutting some more blocking so that I can put the floor in. I've been up here for a little bit, just kind of checking things out, trying to come up with a game plan. And this vent right there, I don't like the location of it. It's taken up a lot of our floor space. I'd like the floor to come all the way across right there. And then plus the intake, it's right above the loft area. So I don't want that intake, the air intake, to be right there above the loft. So we're gonna move it over. I cleared some space to cut those boards out. And then we're gonna slide it over a few feet and get it out of the way. Check that out. All right, so game plan, we got to get this vent moved over there, get the hole cut in the drywall, and we are good. Vent relocation was successful. It was a lot easier than I actually thought it was going to be. And I know I still have a big hole right there, and I could take the drywall that I cut out of there and replace that piece, but I'm not really worried about it because this part is above the bunk bed and it's just going to get covered up anyway. There's going to be shiplap on that wall, and we may continue the shiplap up over the ceiling, or we might do something different with the ceiling, put some yucca board up there, something else decorative. So we've made some pretty good progress on the floor. At least right now we have a nice surface that we can start working off of. But before I screw the floor down, there's some electrical work that needs to be done. I need to wire up a light in here in the ceiling. I need to wire up a switch in here. And then we need to also install a light above the top bunk. The light above the top bunk, that's going to be wired into the existing switch. There's two switches on the wall right now. One for the regular light for the room, and then another switch that's meant to be for a fan, but we're not going to have a fan in this room, so we're going to use that switch to control the light that's going to be above the top bunk. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off the cover of those light switches. I want to see how they're wired, and then we're going to take off the ceiling light in the room, and we're going to figure out how we're going to wire these switches. Let me show you what we're working with here. So we have, this is the room light. So you got the red wire that's coming down into the two black power wires right there. That is our line that's running the ceiling light. And then tucked back up in there, that is the wire that's for the ceiling fan. We're gonna use that wire to run another light over this way, right above where the loft is going to be. And then this is the light that we're going to be installing. And this light is super easy to install. It's canless. You could already see that it already kind of has a can that's attached to it. So all we have to do is cut a hole in the ceiling, pop this in. You can see the little springs on there that's going to hold it into the drywall, and then wire it up. We got our Romex pulled through for the new light. So now what we're gonna do is we need to wire the power right here, and then we have our neutral and our ground. So we'll get that wired up. Then we need to cut the hole in the ceiling, 6-inch hole for the new light, get that part wired up, and then we should be all set. I undercut the hole for the light, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass trying to get it in there. Kept trying to squeeze it, and the little springs on the side are really strong, and those smash your finger. They're like as strong as a mousetrap. But once I opened up that hole, got a little bit bigger, and was able to get it to slide in, it fits snugly. It's in there tight. It's pretty happy with that light. Super clean installation too. I love how flush it is. As far as electrical goes, installing that light above the loft, that was step one. So step one's down. Now step two is going to be running a wire, running some Romex down through this wall for a sconce light that's going to be above the bottom bunk. So once we get that done, we'll move on to step three for electrical, and that's going to be installing another light up in the secret hideout area with a switch to turn it on and off. The sconce light down here won't need a switch. It'll actually have a switch on the sconce light itself. Dug a little pocket right here, pulled out all the foam insulation so that we can drill our hole through the 2x4 right here. We can start fishing our line. I'm not worried about the insulation. I can come back and I can fill that later. This whole wall right here, all the way down, is the wall that goes to the garage. So this whole thing is foam insulated, spray foam insulated. So fishing this line through the spray foam is going to be a pain in the ass, but hopefully we can make it work without having to pull any drywall off. There's no way that I'm gonna be able to get that wire through this wall. Because if there's already a 2x4 about a foot down, there's possibly even more blocking that's in there. And I got no way to drill through all of that to get all the way to the hole in the wall down there that I need to get to. I don't really want to take off drywall, but I'm probably gonna have to. It's not gonna matter a whole lot. That whole wall is gonna get covered in shiplap, so you're not even gonna see it anyway. Well, I found a 2x4 and it actually looks like it is two 2x4s that are together. So let's see, hopefully I can get through there with this spade bit. I think we're through. I finally got that fish through. Man, that was not easy. So this actually works out perfectly, because now we can get our power from right here and we can run it up to our switch and then continue to run the Romex all the way up to the ceiling to where our light's gonna be. Got my little cameraman helping out. Yeah, Ollie. All right, we're all taped up. We're ready to pull the line up. So I was able to get all the wires run. This is going to be our sconce. That's going to be our switch right there to turn on the light that's going to be up in the secret hideout. And if you come up here, you can see I got the wire run through that little pocket that we dug out in the foam. And here's the wire that I need to run to the ceiling. And I am about 4 feet short. I'm gonna have to run to Home Depot and get some more Romex so I can continue running that to the ceiling and finish that light. All right, now that we have the longer Romex run all the way up to the ceiling for the ceiling light and the secret hideout area, what we need to do now, or what we're gonna do now, is we are gonna wire this switch in, and then we also need to put some nail plates in right here where we ran the Romex through these 2x4s. While I was at Home Depot, I picked up the junction box for what's going to be our sconce light right here. So let's put it in. don't have the sconce light yet, but it is going to be here later today, so hopefully I can get it installed once it shows up. But what we're going to do for now is we're just going to strip these, put wire nuts on it, and close it up. I'd like to get power to this box so I can make sure everything works for the light up top. So before I install the light, I want to shave off some of this foam so I can finish running this wire and feeding it up over. I can only temporarily install this recessed light. It fits into the drywall. It doesn't attach into any kind of a junction box, and there's no drywall up here yet, so I can't permanently mount it, but I do want to install it and make sure everything works. But before we do that, I'm going to shave some of this foam off and run that wire. I wish I had like a pull saw so that I could just shave this off, or something that I could shave this off easier, but I don't. So I'm going to try a hacksaw blade, and then I have this trowel that's for vinyl adhesive, and it kind of has a sharp little edge right here. So let's try it out. All right, I am done shaving foam for a little while. That was a lot of work. There's foam everywhere. Even down there. It's looking better. Still a lot of work to do, but I'm getting there. All right, now that I'm done making a huge mess, for now, let's get back to running this Romax for the light. All right, let's get it wired up. The light is up, just temporary solution. I put some screws right there to hold those flanges down. So now's the moment of the truth. Let's flip the switch, see if it works. All right. That's awesome. I don't have to worry about bringing this light up there anymore. We actually have light up here, albeit temporary, but I'll take it. The floor is finally finished. I got the OSB down everywhere that I want it. I started working on some of the framing back there. And then you can see that I took this AC duct off. That one just goes right there to the laundry room. I pulled that off because it's been really hot in here. Now I got to start working on the framing. I got this partial wall done, that wall back there. There is going to be a wall here, 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 along this way, and then right here where this 2x4 is, the wall is going to go up right there. There's going to be some openings where it's just going to be a storage area. So that's going to go up. There'll be two big doors there so we can store some boxes and stuff back that way. Well, I wasn't going to film the framing just because I have to go up and down this ladder so many times to do all the cutting in the garage. I could bring my cordless saw up here to make all these cuts, but then I'm going to make a huge mess. So up and down the ladder, I guess it is. Time lapse. The framing is finally done. I just got to put in a couple more outlets and then it's going to be time for drywall. So right there, I'm going to put an outlet. That box is already installed. This box right here is just temporary power, so I can charge my batteries, plug my phone in, and then I'm going to put another box right there, and then another box up over here in that corner. All the outlets are in and tested. They're all working. We got outlet 1, outlet 2, and up there, outlet 3. Now it's time to get started on the drywall. I'm excited to do the drywall, but it's not going to be easy because I can't put up full sheets in here. I can only put up about a 2-foot by 7-foot piece at a time because that's all this little hole in the ceiling is going to allow me to bring up. So that means a lot of taping and a lot of mudding. Let's go grab our first sheet, put it up. I got the first sheet up. Not fun. Broke it a little bit. We'll patch that up later. This one's gonna go right up there on the ceiling. Let's get started. I guess I should say I'm not an expert at drywall, so I'm kind of figuring this out as I go along. I'm sure I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes, but hopefully the end result will look good. First piece is in, and yes, I know I used a lot of screws, but it's just what it is. Like I said, I'm not an expert, not pretending to be an expert, just trying to build something cool for my son. All right, sheet number 2. Got the second piece up. Damaged it right there, same spot. That just doesn't seem to be any getting around it. Just what it is. We'll make it work. I'm not looking forward to mudding all those screw holes. There's so many. It's probably overkill. I've never really drywalled before. First time on a ceiling, done a little bit of patchwork. That's it, never drywalled a whole space. And this is on the ceiling, so I guess with that many screws, I would rather be safe than sorry. I'm sure there's probably a sequence in which these boards are supposed to go up. Maybe you're supposed to start on the walls first and then do the ceiling, or maybe the ceiling first and then the walls. I have no idea. I'm just figuring it out. Let's speed this up. The drywall is finally done. For it being my first time, I don't think I did too terrible. I definitely have some big gaps and some imperfections that I need to patch up. So we're gonna do that today. We're gonna mix up some hot mud and fill in all these gaps, all these imperfections that were left. Like right over here, I got a corner that tore off. This part right here, this isn't gonna get drywall. All of this is gonna get framed in. So I'm not worried about that. There's some gaps there up top. This entryway right here is also gonna get framed. So I'm not worried about the gaps. Not too bad, I don't think. We'll see how good we can make it look. Once we do all the mudding and taping, paint, we'll see how it comes together. So this is what we're gonna be mixing up, Easy Sand 90. 90 means that it's gonna cure in 90 minutes. So we have 90 minutes to work with this. All the YouTube videos that I watched, they're using the Easy Sand 45, but those guys are experts. They know what they're doing. I wanted to give myself a little more time to work with the product before it sets. So I'm gonna try this one. The directions on the back only give me the mixing ratio to mix a whole bag. I don't wanna mix a whole bag. I just want to mix enough to get me started, and then I'll make batches as I need it. I have no idea how much I'm supposed to use, so I'm just going to start with 2 cups, 2 Chuck E. Cheese cups. Then we're going to add some water. Let's put some of this up on the wall. Let's start with this corner right here and see how I do. You might want to get it thicker than that so that it stays in there better. That's not too bad. Well, I got a lot of holes to fill, so time to get started. I'm not sure how many times I've been up and down this ladder, but I am feeling it. Oh man, I'm feeling it in my legs. I'm all done with the Easy Sand 90. And if I was to do this again, I think I would just use the Easy Sand 45. Mixing it in small batches like that, 45 minutes is plenty of time. Put up a small batch and get ready for the next one. Since I applied the last batch, I think it's probably been about 60 minutes. And a lot of it's still not dry yet. I came up thinking that I was gonna be able to do some sanding. I don't think I can do any sanding yet. I might try, see how it goes. But if you look, you can still see some patches. See the color variation where it's lighter over here and it's dry, and then right here it's still dark. It feels dry. We'll see how it sands. All right, there we go. I picked up these drywall sponges from Home Depot. 3M drywall sponge, extra large. It just says fine. I don't know what the grid on here is. It just says fine, so try them out. Seems like it's sanding okay, even with there still being patches that are a little dark. So I'm gonna get this knocked out. The sanding is all done. I wasn't trying to do too much with this sanding. I'm just trying to knock down all the high points that were left over. I still got to tape and mud everything in here. Once that's done, I'll come back through and I'll do a much more thorough sanding. But for right now, it's just knocking down edges to get it ready to tape and mud. Time to start doing some taping and mudding. Picked up this bad boy, 4.5 gallons. It is +3 joint compound. I got my 6-inch knife and tape. A lot of this is my first time. So I watched a few YouTube videos to try to get a little bit of a better idea, get some tips and tricks on how to do this. So we'll see how it goes. Got my first 2 pieces up. It's kind of dark in here. Hopefully you can see it. Not the best, probably not the worst, but I started in this area for a reason. It's not going to be as noticeable. So hopefully I get better as I continue along. Show you what I'm doing. So I got my tape. I cut it to length. I'm putting my mud on first. And I'm putting it on pretty thick. And then I'm going to come back through with my knife and I'm going to put medium pressure on it. And I'm trying to get that squeeze out. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. I don't want to squeeze out too much mud from underneath the tape. So I'm hitting it pretty easy. And then I'll come back through later once this dries with my 14-inch knife. We'll put a bunch more compound on here and then smooth this out so that you won't even see the tape. So hopefully I'm doing it right. This is kind of what I learned from watching the YouTube videos. It's working for me so far. Hopefully it turns out good. Let's keep it going. That was a pain in the ass. That was not fun at all. Mad respect to anybody that does drywall for a living, because it is not easy. It's definitely an art form. It takes a lot of talent to get this and make it look good. I spent a lot of time on it and trying to get it as nice as I possibly could. And I guess it looks okay. I'm gonna let it dry. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back with my 12-inch blade and try to smooth out some of these imperfections, sand it down, and I guess we'll really only know how good it looks once it's ready for paint. But take a look, this is where we're at. Probably hard to tell in the video, but I still got a lot of work to do on it. There's gonna be a lot of sanding. A lot of sanding. Oh man. All right, well, we'll let this dry and hit it with a skim coat. It's crazy coming up here with the drywall all done. It looks so different. I was really worried that once the drywall was done that the space was gonna feel small, too small, and I don't think so. I don't think it is at all. I think it's plenty of space. It's more than enough space. It's a lot bigger than I really anticipated that it was gonna be or feel like. So now that all the taping and mudding is done, we're gonna do our skim coat, the 12-inch blade. Then once that's done, it's gonna be time for texture and paint. I just finished sanding everything down. That's why I'm absolutely filthy right now. And then I came through and took a wet rag and I wiped down all the walls. So they're all prepped, clean, and ready to start doing our spray texture. The spray texture that I'm using is called Homax Wall Texture. It is the knockdown version. They also sell an orange peel. I've used the orange peel before. I haven't used the knockdown yet, but it seems like it's gonna be very similar. You're just gonna take a putty knife. After it's set for 3-4 minutes, you'll take that knife and come down and just kind of knock the texture down, hence knockdown. So I already have this can prepped and ready to spray. It's really important to warm up the can first. I just put it in a hot water bath for about 30 minutes. If you're trying to use this and it's spraying out real goopy and thick, that means the can is way too cold. You need to warm it up, make sure you shake it really well, and get a test piece and figure out the thickness and the pattern that you want to spray it in. So for texture, I have it set at heavy, and then I got the pressure right in the middle. I might adjust the pressure as I go, but testing it out in the garage, spraying a heavy texture and then just medium pressure worked really well. I'm just gonna do one section at a time. Since it only takes 3-4 minutes for this to kind of dry to a point where you're gonna knock it down, I don't want to spray the whole surface yet. If I spray the whole surface, it's gonna start to dry and then it's not gonna knock down properly. So we'll do one wall, knock it down. We'll do another wall, knock it down. Let's go. This small little wall took one can. I only bought 2 cans because they're 30 bucks a piece. So I'm gonna need at least 2 more cans. 1 can for this wall, 2 cans for the ceiling. Home Depot trip. So it's been about 4 minutes since I sprayed the texture. I don't know if you can see the difference. We're gonna start knocking it down. I'm not putting much pressure on here. I'm just kind of letting the putty knife do the work, the weight of the putty knife. Oh, not bad. So I just got back from Home Depot. I ran down there to pick up 3 more of these, and at 30 bucks a pop, I was able to get this. A texture gun with hopper and some wall texture. This right here, when used on heavy, only covers 35 square feet. I only got 2 walls done. I definitely need at least 3 more to finish it, and that's putting it on pretty light, not as heavy as I wanted to. This right here, 600 square feet. So now I'm gonna be able to get it done and get it done the way that I want to. The only downside is this dries a lot faster and I'll be able to paint a lot sooner. This wants me to wait 24 hours before I start painting. So I'm gonna apply it. I did a test piece in the garage and I was able to knock it down still in like 5 minutes. So maybe it'll actually dry a lot faster than we think. So let's make it happen. Got my little pancake compressor up here and check this bad boy out. Man, I love getting new toys. Well, today is a very exciting day. It is finally actually time to start painting this place. I got my Wagner Opti painter out. This is actually the first time that I'm using this. I've had it for, I don't know, probably 2 years or so now. So I'm really excited to try it out. The instructions did say that the paint did not need thinning for this product, for the Opti painter, but testing it out in the garage, it still came out pretty thick. So I thinned it out 2 to 1. It's spraying much better. So let's give it a go Oh, and the paint that I'm using, it's a Behr product. It's a paint and primer in one, and the color is agreeable gray. The agreeable gray is gonna match the rest of the house. That corner is pretty dark, so it's hard for me to tell how well the paint is actually coating. So hopefully there's no drips. Hopefully it didn't hold on too thick anywhere. It's pretty dark. I know it's hard to see. It doesn't look too bad from what I can tell. I'm gonna keep going. Well, I don't know if you were able to see that in the time lapse, but it started spraying out in just a huge mist. So I had way too much water in it. I tested it in the garage and I tested it back there. It seemed to be spraying just fine. But once I really started going at it, just this huge cloud of paint started coming. So it was way too thinned out. I did 2-to-1. I mixed up a new batch. This is 4-to-1. Tested in the garage again, and it looks like it's gonna be perfect. So we'll see. All finished up with the painting, and to be honest with you, I'm not really digging this color. Once the trim is up, maybe that'll change my mind. The trim's all gonna be white, so maybe it'll make this room look a little bit different. We'll see, but the way it looks right now, I really feel like repainting it already. Let me show you something. So when I put up the spray texture, this wall and this wall, I did the texture out of the can. Let me see if I can get a close-up so you can see what the texture looks like. And then the ceiling is the texture that was in the hopper. Came out much different. I think the texture that I sprayed myself on the ceiling that I mixed up and put in the spray gun, I think that turned out much better. It actually looks a lot more like the texture in our home than the stuff that's on these walls that came out of the can. And now that the painting is done, we can move on to the next step. Next step being the floor. So I already started prepping the floor. There was a couple high spots, and if you see right there, you can see where it's a little shiny where I sanded down the high spots, and then this big brown patch right here, that was a low spot. So I went ahead and filled that in to level it all out. It's really important that the floor is level because we're doing vinyl plank. So if it's not level, you're gonna feel those little dips and high spots. The floor is gonna click together right. So now that this is done, the floor is prepped and ready to go. Let me show you what we picked out for flooring. This is the floor right here. The brand is Life Proof. Color is Dust Cherry. Picked it up at Home Depot. This is the same flooring that we used in the house. We got our pattern figured out. We're gonna start with a full board, 47.5 inches, then 16 inches, then 32 inches. And then you can see I already have the spacers in here. So this is gonna allow a gap between the board and the wall for expansion and contracting. So the manufacturer recommends leaving a 1/4 inch gap. So I picked up these spacers, and these spacers on one side, you have a 1/4 inch thickness, and then on the other side, you have a 1/2 inch thickness. So it's pretty easy to pop those in there to create our gap. All right, since we time-lapsed everything else, let's time-lapse this. Time to get after it. The floor is done. It went really quick, super easy installation. I think it turned out really well. Look at that. I might not like this brand vinyl plank flooring, but this color and the style of it, I really like a lot. I think it looks great in this room. The next thing that we need to do is start on the trim. I've bought all the trim. I've got a lot of it painted. I just kind of need to cut it to size. And I think we're gonna start right over here. We're gonna get this trimmed out and put some doors on it. And then once that is done, then I'm gonna start doing all the baseboards. Cool, let's get it done. It's pretty exciting to have this finally framed in. It's gonna be even more exciting once we can finally put the doors on it, but the doors are in the garage right now, drying. I just painted them. I just put a second coat of paint on them, so it's gonna take a little bit longer for them to dry before we can hang them. So while those are drying, we're gonna continue with baseboards. We're gonna start over here and then work our way around. Let's go. Almost all done with the trim, but check out where we're at. It's looking pretty good. Makes a huge difference. I still have a little bit of trim work to do. I need to cut a top piece for right here and a top piece for back here. And then this little cubby area right there, that's gonna get some trim as well. But before I start working on that, I think the cabinet doors, I don't even know what you'd call that, the doors are dry. I think they're dry. I think they're dry enough and I'm excited to hang them up. So I need to get the hardware installed on those and haul them up here and put them up. I got the cabinet doors all finished. Hardware is mounted, just gotta put them up. The doors are on. Not my best work, but for a little attic hideout, it's not too bad. Hey, it looks pretty cool. And the space still doesn't feel super small with that area closed off. So now that that's done, I need to finish up some trim over here, right here around this, and then cut the pieces down there on the bottom. So let's get that knocked out. All the trim is done. Look at that, got the shelves in, doors are on. I didn't film putting those shelves in, it wasn't too exciting. They are just pine lumber, 2x12s, construction lumber that I cut down to size to fit in there. I think they turned out pretty nice. Nice floating shelves. One of the luxuries of putting these shelves in was I have access to the other side of that wall. So I mounted it in using some 8-inch lag bolts. So they're very secure and I think they turned out great. So does that mean that we're done with this project? Not quite yet. Oliver had 2 requests for his secret hideout. First one being a hanging plant, and the second one, LED strips. So we're gonna work on that next. So when I first thought about putting up the LED lights, I thought, piece of cake. They come with a peel and stick backing. I'll just peel that off, stick it up, put it around the trim and be done with it. Well, I really didn't like the way that that looked. And when you turn the lights off, it looks even worse. It just looks like Christmas lights. And that's not the look I'm going for. I want that nice ambient glow that you get from the LEDs. So I thought, why not put a piece of corner round up? I'll cut a groove in it, and that way the light is projecting up instead of out, and you'll get that nice ambient glow. I originally painted the corner round white, but I didn't want it to look like a cheap crown molding. So I went ahead and repainted it the same gray as the walls. So hopefully it won't stick out like a sore thumb and it'll look good. So I'm gonna start bringing up that quarter round and putting it up as if it was kind of like a crown molding, and then sticking the LED strip in that groove, and we'll see if we get that cool ambient glow that you would expect from an LED. Man, I am not gonna miss going up and down this ladder. The LED strips are done. I'm really excited about these. I think they turned out awesome. You can see all the trim. I keep second guessing myself on whether or not I should have went with white trim or stick with the gray. I think the gray looks pretty decent, but I keep second guessing myself. So Paulina actually stuck the LED strips into the little groove for me. You can see right in there. I had a tough time sticking my fat finger in there to push down the LED strip. You can't even see it in there, but she was able to get it in all the way around. All right, well, let's turn it on, see what it looks like.
What you working on?
This is it. This is the handle for the hatch, and we're done after that.
No way.
Yeah, the only thing left to do is surprise Oliver, bring him up so he can check it out and figure out what this is going to cost us.
Yep, that's going to be the big question.
We're all done. Let's go surprise Oliver. Hey, what are you doing?
Reading book.
Guess what?
What?
Your secret hideout, it's done. You wanna go check it out?
Yeah.
Let's go. Alexa, play non-copyrighted music. Alright, if you guys were wondering what this project cost us, you're about to find out right now. We brought the receipts and we're going to get you a grand total.
Here we go.
First one, $13.72, $64.03, $78.69, $52.88, $231.68, $152.15, $89.46, $423.03. That was a big one. That was the flooring. $93.81, $80.32, $15.22, $79.62, $69.95, $7.53, $292.25, $45.35, $103.44, $37.81.
Oh my goodness.
That's not that bad.
Okay, the total came out to $1,930.93.
That's it. And for what we got out of this, with the flooring and doing the drywall and the LEDs and the lighting, electrical, mud and tape on the drywall, everything that we've done, I think under $2,000. That's a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
I'm happy with how it all turned out though. Good job.
You love it? Well, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave us a like, put a comment down below, let us know what you think, and subscribe to this channel. We do have another video coming out that is going to be the bunk bed build. The bunk bed build is also going to be the staircase that brings you up to the secret hideout, so make sure you check out that video. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Like and subscribe. Check out my bunk bed video.
Well, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.